everybody, it's John, your Indian Cine-MANIAC with another, well, it's not really a 10-ish minute review. So we haven't done anything this year so far. I did a couple of 10-ish minute reviews and we've been kind of lackadaisical, and I apologize for that. I'm going to start getting back into it. The big show, there's a whole nother story, but tonight I'm going to bring my brother Ralph on because we decided to do the top 5 Indian films we saw in 2023 and the #1 Hollywood movie we saw in 2023. So I thought it'd be a little bit different. So I'm going to bring Ralph on in just a second. So that alone should get you subscribe, hit the notification button, smash that like button, and please share. Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, here he is, my brother, Ralph. Well, welcome, Ralph. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year, John.
And Happy New Year to our audience. We know we haven't put anything out really for you guys since the new year started. So we're trying to make amends with that. We haven't watched an Indian film, but just to let you guys know, I'm going to get back on the horse with the 10-ish minute reviews. I needed just a little break, and with the holidays, it was kind of crazy. And Ralph, why don't you give them a little breakdown on what we're doing with YKY? Because this was a discussion we had. I think you, as the showrunner, you should explain
it. We're trying to, first thing, most of us work every day. I think John doesn't work every day. John has a lot of time. He may be working, but he's at home all the time.
Well, because I care so much about the audience, I just still do it.
So we had the 2 podcasts. We had the classic Yippee-Ki-Yay, the original, the OG. And then we started doing, obviously, a year and a half ago, whatever it was, a year ago, the Indian Cine-MANIACs, which we love doing. There's no question. We were having a blast. It just became too much stuff to try to watch while you're trying to work.
It became a bit of a grind.
A grind, mainly because the Indian films, most of them are over 3 hours long. And when you're planning your week out to fit in the Yippee-Ki-Yay movie and then an Indian film, it just became, all of us were feeling a little bit overwhelmed.
Yeah. It also interrupts with bowling and karaoke and what else?
Life.
Some other stuff.
Mainly life. It doesn't interrupt. Believe me, if we were making money on this deal, then I'd be all in.
That's true.
So that's really the big problem is we don't make any money on it. We do it
frankly,
because we love it.
I mean, let's be really brutally honest. Some of the movies off the viewer wheel,
I think we lost a lot of viewers because of those.
I
mean, when the Indian audience is telling us we're picking losers, there's something going on. But I mean, really, the fact was, we never made money on Yippee-Ki-Yay, never. We've been doing this for 5-6 years now, and we just do it because we're a group of people who love talking about movies, obviously. The Indian infusion of Indian films gave us kind of a nice little adrenaline rush, especially when we got all the views and stuff. And we really went with it. We swung for the fences. We made about, I think, probably $16 a month for 5 months in a row. That was huge for us, especially when In the Red Productions makes no money at all.
I haven't seen any of that.
I haven't been able to access that account yet, but it's definitely there. And that negates the 16 a month I'm spending on the SoundCloud, which I've never used for the last. Anyway, so long story short, we just felt like we were doing too much. And as much as we love the Indian films, Yippee-Ki-Yay is the granddaddy, and we want to keep going with that. But that doesn't mean we're not going to do Indian films. So the idea is I'm going to do we'll do 2 Yippee-Ki-Yays and an Indian film, 2 Yippee-Ki-Yays like that, 2-1, 2-1, 2-1. Obviously, the way the Yippee-Ki-Yay works is we can pick a film to bring to the table. A couple of us might bring Indian films, which is totally fair and totally fine. And the other thing I want to do is we're going to try to freshen the format up a little bit, because what we kind of found out is when I said we're not recording anymore, podcast is over, we're not recording, and we just start talking about stuff, the conversation is free flow. And I feel like that's what we're lacking a little bit. We got a little formulaic, waiting for each of us to give our opinion of the film. And I think that gets in the way of the flow. So we're going to try to do a little less of that formula stuff and a little more free flow,
a little
conversation,
more
banter, and see if we can pull it off. Now, some of us don't have good mics and we can barely hear, i.e. Sean. He says something and 5 minutes later.
But did Sean get the YKY audio package?
I sent him the whole package. I went there and set it up myself. And, he's still having trouble. So, and I can't be there for everybody. So this is the way it is. So yes, we're still going to do some Indian films. Like I said, 2-1, 2-1, 2-1. And then we're going to keep going with the OG because we just love talking about films.
We do have to finish.
We have a good time.
Too.
We have to finish out that viewer.
No, I know. I mean, listen, it's this thing. You started this as just a bunch of the generational thing talking about
literally around a pool table.
Right. And now, we know we don't get a lot of views on it. Frankly, we don't get a lot of comments, but at least we're talking about movies that we're interested in or whatever.
Right.
And I think the Indian films, not so much for me because I'm picking the movies that I'm watching, so it's a little bit different because I kind of pick what I want. But
Yeah.
it's been kind of a grind, and you can tell part of it is because as our views have gone down, I think the enthusiasm has gone down a little bit, and
Well, and the audience, we were losing the
that's
audience as
right.
well because
And
the
there's a reason
films
why we're losing
we
the
were
audience.
doing, they didn't like either. So,
Right.
I mean, it says a lot about what we were watching. Now, to be fair, the some of the viewer picks, Malayalam films, we were all kind of vibrating to because those were more based in sort of
Yeah,
realism,
grounded. Yeah.
grounded, much more grounded than like the RRRs of the world
Right.
and things like that. But having said that, not everybody agrees with that,
Right.
and they really want us to hit on the higher end, not higher end films, but the ones that were more popular in India. And maybe we will do that. Maybe that's the point.
Well, listen, I saw Donkey in the movie theater.
Yeah.
And I didn't get over 1,000 hits on that.
Yeah.
And that's a huge movie that just came out. I saw it a week after it came out. So who the hell
I mean,
knows?
I get back to the fact that I really think it's us.
Yeah.
I think we don't have we're not going to pull in a big audience, and you kind of now, if I had to quit my job or if for some reason I got laid off or whatever, and I could devote 8 to 10 hours a day, then maybe something else can happen. Because I think we've got a presence. I think we're pretty good, but I don't know.
Well,
how
that's something we should ask. You know what? We should ask the audience that. Look, we haven't set it up yet because we're not really sure how to do it, Patreon or even tips.
or even live streaming. Do it live.
If we were to do that, I mean, is it something that you guys would be willing to pay for if we could put a lot more content out?
Yeah.
So let us know in the
And
comments.
are we
section.
interesting enough to even do it? I mean, that's the problem. I know you are, John. You're very
Well, I would
interesting.
listen. I love
You're
doing
the world's
it 'cause like
most
I said,
interesting man. Look at your hat tree you've added.
I'm picking the movies that I want to see. So, all right. So listen. So
and the other thing is, I'm dropping the green screen. I'm going with my office. Yeah, things are changing.
What? Oh, so Maria didn't want you using the green screen anymore?
No, I love the green screen. It's just this is so much easier. This is so much easier.
Oh, because you don't have to put the background in and all that.
Plus, I can change background.
Yeah,
I can add some stuff back there. I got
the little fish back there. Does that fish talk?
That's Jaws. He sings when that's Bobby Darin. What's that song?
Oh, the sea, somewhere beyond the sea, right? Yeah, I knew it. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do.
Okay,
we're gonna do our top 5 Indian films. Now, I don't know how many films we've done on the Big Show, Ralph, but it's got to be probably 50.
Yeah, probably.
So I've probably seen 100 because I'm doing, at one point I was doing 3 a week. So I've got a lot more to choose from. So I'm kind of curious if we have any commonalities. Now, the first thing I want to do, so this is the top 5 Indian films we saw in 2023. So we're not including.
Whoa. In 2023. No, you said of everything.
No,
well, I guess that would be.
I said 2023 because RRR is 2022.
Well, I didn't do that. So I picked my 5 top because I went on our channel and said, what are the 5? Don't worry about it. Okay, big deal. It's fine.
You better not say RRR because that was 2022.
That's my number 1.
Well, no. Okay, so you didn't listen to me.
Obviously. But I didn't hear you. I wasn't listening.
Okay, fine. Right. So mine.
But I picked 7.
Okay.
I have some.
Okay, here's what I want to do. So we're 5. We're also going to pick our number 1 Hollywood film for 2023. Okay. At the end. But the first thing I want to do is I want you to go over. So I only want the top 5, but give me your runner-ups because you said you had 7. So what were your runner-ups?
Well, I had 1. I put 2 in as a tie. Okay. So no. So my runner-up that I have is because I have a tie. I'm sorry. I got a tie. Number 4 is a tie. 2 runner-ups. Kantara, which is the one I saw.
That's the one you saw in the movie theater
with Sean and Debbie, which was fantastic. I love that film. Here's my thing with all these films. I can't remember any of them. Like I had to look at the titles, and once I saw the title, I kind of remembered what the film was about. That's unusual because when they're American films, you just know right away, and this is not as intuitive. So that's why it gets kind of frustrating.
See, I think because I saw so many movies, because the ones I picked were the ones that stick out.
Well, obviously, what I picked are what stuck out for me
when you saw the title, right?
Well, again, I vibrate to a certain kind of film, and you're going to see in my picks what those are.
Okay.
I did not vibrate other than RRR, and Kantara, frankly, is one of these that's way over the top. Not as much as RRR, but way over the top. I kind of like the super grounded, more American style films.
Yep.
I mean, I didn't add it to the list, but the other one is the one. What's the one about the girl, the woman who goes to New York City?
English of English.
English of English. I
Yeah.
didn't put that on the list. That was number 8 because
Okay.
I really like that one. Okay, so Kantara was the first one. The second runner-up is On the Island, the one we just saw. Is that it? On the Island, about the guy who two personalities.
Oh yeah. What?
Yeah, where he turns into the.
Was that the name of it?
I think it was On
Ollie
the
Allen?
Island.
That doesn't sound
Yeah.
right.
Well,
But
I may be
oh,
wrong.
oh, wait a minute. I think I have the list here.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So that's the one where the
Oh,
guy.
that
has
was your
the-
runner-up anyway, right?
Yeah,
That
it's
was
one
your
of my
run-
runner-ups.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So we won't spend a lot of time on that, but I'm
Okay.
trying to
Okay.
remember the name of that. All right.
Okay, so number 5 for me.
Okay. So you're going to give. Wait. I want to give you my runner-ups before you give me.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you want to do it that way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I want to do it that way. Unfortunately, I had a ton of them. Okay. So
how many runner-ups could you have?
well, I had a lot because what I did was I built the list of the movies that I loved, and then I whittled it down to the top 5. But there was some that, like Iga about the fly.
Yeah, I forgot about
That
Ego.
one
That's a
stuck
great
in
one.
my head. I loved
a
that
good
movie
one.
because it was
Me
such
too.
a.
And that's the one whenever I talk about Indian films, I
You
say
bring
if
up
you
that
saw,
one.
or yes, 100%.
Because that was crazy for me. The
I
other one I
forgot
put,
about that one.
the one that everyone hates is Doom 3.
Yeah,
I love
hate
Doom
that one.
3.
Yeah.
Everybody hates it. I
You
love
love
it.
the actor in Doom 3.
I do because I think he made the film better.
Right.
I also picked Singham Returns, which you didn't see, but it starred
No.
Ajay Devgan, and
Yeah.
it was an introduction to him and that universe that I really loved. Also, Sholay, which was the movie with Amitabh Bachchan that was based on Once Upon a Time in the West. It was a
Okay.
70s Indian
Yeah,
movie.
you mentioned
And
that.
the only movie I saw Bachchan in was Thugs of Hindostan, which everybody hated.
Yeah.
So someone recommended that. I loved it. Also, Delhi Belly was
Yeah,
unlike any.
I've seen none of these. Yeah.
Yes, you have. You saw Delhi Belly. We reviewed it.
Which one was that?
That was
See,
the comedy that was almost all in English about the
the 3 dudes.
yeah.
Yeah, okay, that was funny. That was
Yeah,
like the
I
Hangover.
love that
The
movie.
Indian Hangover.
That's right. It was
Okay,
so
yeah.
different from
Yeah.
most of them.
Good one.
Vikram, which was a Telugu movie because that actor I've never seen before. Secret Superstar, which was produced by Amir Khan, and he had a small but showy role in it. And the other one was Munabai MBBS, which starred Sanjay Dutt, who I hadn't seen in a lead role. I really enjoyed that movie. So those were my runner-ups.
Jeez, you
So
might
the
as well list
top
them all.
5. So
Okay.
Ralph, you give me your 5, and then I'll give you mine, and tell me why.
Again, I'm not going to be able to name the actors.
That's okay.
Okay. Number 5 was Lunchbox.
Ah,
I loved Lunchbox.
that's with
The little
Irfan
love story.
Khan.
The guy from Jurassic World.
Yeah,
Yeah, he passed away.
yeah.
That was a beautiful film. I
I like
loved the
that film. I
romance.
didn't have
I
that.
loved all the things about the lunches being made in those tin cans and how the lunches were delivered to work. I just found that movie fascinating.
A very quiet, character-driven
quiet.
movie.
And he's also in my other runner-up. I should mention this. The one we just saw about him being the driver.
Yeah.
Pika.
Piku. Yeah.
That's a runner-up. That was pretty
Yeah,
good too.
that was
I really
excellent.
liked. I find him fun to watch.
And that was the one
Interesting to watch.
that was the one that you were kind of down on Indian films, and that brought you back. That
Piku
one.
brought me back.
Yeah. You said,
Yes.
"Oh, that was a good one." That
It
would.
did. No. I'm sorry. On the Island's the one that brought me back. The one
I
about
thought
the
it was
guy with the
Piku.
multiple person. No. Piku was the next one after On the
I
Island.
gotta
believe.
find the name of that movie.
That's the one about the guy with the
But I don't
multiple
think that
personalities
name's right. That name doesn't ring a bell with me.
Okay.
That's why I'm
All
like,
right, well, look it up.
all right. So, okay, good. Number 5. For me, my number 5 was Jawan, starring Shah Rukh Khan. And the reason why I picked
Okay,
that
so
one,
you're picking movies that I haven't seen too.
well, no,
right?
not
I mean,
all of
that's-
them. Not all of
Okay.
them. Well, I saw more movies than you, so I got to
Yes, you
pick the
did.
ones that I like. The
Okay.
reason why I picked Jawan, first of all, is Shah Rukh Khan, who up to that point I hadn't seen a lot of his stuff. But I think the reason, do I think it's a great film? No, but it's the first one I saw in a movie theater with an audience.
Okay.
So it really stuck out for me because like the dance numbers and the music and all that, and an audience getting into it, I really, really enjoyed. I loved that. So that was number 5 for me. Okay, number 4 for you.
Okay, I'm sorry. The movie I was talking about is Aniyan. Annniyan. Ramajam, who suffers from multiple personality disorder, works as a lawyer by day. Remember that guy who
Oh yeah.
every rule he was upset that
Yeah.
rules were okay. It's Anian.
And then he was a cool guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was the what was he the runway model.
Yeah, that's
Runway
right.
model. Okay, so I have a tie for number 4.
Oh,
Okay.
all right.
Super Deluxe, that movie that
Yep.
about all the coincidences happen. I think there were even aliens in that one.
And that was with Fafa.
Fafa, that actor who played drunk. He had to do that scene in the
that
car
drunk
playing
scene.
drunk. He was great.
Fantastic.
And the other number 4 is A Wednesday, the one that you and I did. I thought that was great. I loved A Wednesday.
Oh, you know what? That should have made my close list. I loved A Wednesday.
Yeah.
Great movie.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why tie? You like them equally.
I didn't want to drop those off the list.
Oh, okay.
I thought they were good. So that's why I put them as number 4.
Okay, Super Deluxe.
And remember, I'm starting with RRR as number 1. So
well, that was right, but that was 20. Okay, that's right. For 2020 overall. All right, for number 4, I put English of English. I love that movie. I love the actress in it. That ending where all her friends are at that wedding or whatever it was, and they support her. I just absolutely love that movie, and it gave me chills at the end.
Yeah.
So that's one we both have seen.
Yeah.
Loved it. All right.
Yeah.
Number 3.
Number 3 for me was Drishyam. And I'm gonna say Drishyam 1, but I like them both. I liked 1 and 2.
Okay.
But
You're
I
talking
really
about the one
I'm
with
talking about the
Ajay Devgan.
Yes.
Not the original.
That guy with the good voice and he was in Runway 30, directed Runway 34 and all that. That guy.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
and Taboo's in that one as well.
That's right.
Taboo.
Out of the 2, did you like one better than the other?
Out of Drishyam 1 and 2?
Yeah.
Oh, I liked 1.
Okay.
I mean, 2's almost unbelievable, and it's but it's fun. It's fun that they backtrack and you see stuff.
Yeah. When I first
1 would be my pick for that one.
When I first heard about 2, I was like, how are they going to continue the story? It makes no sense.
I even like the other version of Drishyam.
I did too.
We did that one too.
I thought the father was a little more realistic,
believable,
than Ajay Devgan. Although I love Ajay Devgan.
He always plays cool like that, though. He's always Mr.
Well,
even in Runway 34, where he's walking down, he's smoking.
Well, you should see Golmaal if you want to. Yeah. By the way, they made 7 Golmaals, which are comedies.
Yeah.
And it was huge, gigantic hit. So I watched the first one and I didn't find it funny at all. And they told me because it's the culture, I wouldn't get the humor. So I watched, I think it was the 5th one. And after 15 minutes, I shut it off. I couldn't watch it. And he was the lead in it. It was terrible. Anyway, so number 3 for me was Lagan, Once Upon a Time in India. I love that movie. Seeing Amir Khan at a young age, but also the time and place of the film, the story behind the film. And then when I watched the documentary about the making of the film, it resonated even more. I love that movie. I thought it was great. So that was my number 3.
And that's the one that made me interested in cricket. And we're still getting notes for people that
on the movie we just did, The Thin Man, there was a comment in there about cricket.
I saw that.
Okay, so
it's coming to the United States.
So will you please go and see one of these cricket matches?
If it's close enough, I would.
All right.
Like if they played up in Philly somewhere or New York
Weren't
or whatever.
You supposed to go play in some cricket?
I tried to. These guys, millennials, of course.
Oh, they blew you off. Well, they're afraid you're going to pull a hamstring.
Now I'm learning pickleball, which is just like
pickleball. Okay, 90-year-olds play pickleball. So what's the big deal about
I think
that?
I'll do pretty well.
Steve Hoffman says, "Yeah, I'm playing all these 80-year-olds. I kicked their ass on the pickleball court."
Listen, I've heard more people who have heart attacks from playing
pickleball
because they're all old gents and women. So you got to be careful.
All right, number two
for me is Tumbad. Absolutely 100%.
Oh, the horror film.
Yes, with the little gingerbread men or whatever those were.
That's a good bread. That's dome men or whatever.
The look of that film, the horror in that film, the conclusion of that film. I just love that film.
Yeah, that was a good because I've seen on the 10-ish minute reviews. I've seen a lot of horror films.
Yeah,
and none of them.
No, what's that one we saw? Apartment 13 or floor 13B.
13B.
Like this one is true
horror.
No,
this was
not like I don't know, not like
it's not shock.
No, but it's just beautifully done, just beautiful,
creepy.
And he directed something else that we watched further down the road, and I can't remember what that was, and it was a good one too. Anyway, see, I'm not really,
If that's your number 2, I'm surprised you didn't put the one with the blind guy in Taboo.
Isn't that Super Deluxe?
No.
What's that one? That's a good
What the
one
hell?
too. I
What the
forgot
hell's the
about it.
name
Okay,
of that?
that's my
An
number.
Han Hoon or something like
Okay,
that.
if I drop RR off, that's my number one.
Okay, okay.
I love that one.
Well, okay, so you're giving away the number one then.
That's where he's playing the piano and he's
Yes,
faking he's blind and they're
that's right.
murdering people in front of him.
And
Absolutely.
Taboo blinds
Absolutely.
them.
I love that one.
So
That
that's
was
your number
great.
one in
That's my number one. RRR,
2023.
yes.
Okay.
RRR was last year's number one.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Well, listen, if RRR was in 2023, it would be number one on both our lists.
Yes, of course. But
okay.
Based on your criteria, it's
okay.
last year's, and that would be my number one.
All right. Tambad and Anhan Hoon.
Anhan
okay.
Hoon. Yes.
All right. Number two for me was Barfi, which
Okay.
you watched it and you said you liked. It was based on a lot of silent movies. So I had clips of the silent movies that some of the scenes came from. I love that movie. That actor, I
don't remember watching that film. See,
you didn't watch it.
Oh,
you saw
okay.
the show that I did on it.
Oh, okay.
And that was the first time I put double clips because I didn't know when I watched the movie, I couldn't believe how many scenes they took from the silent films. And then as I researched it, they did that purposely. So I said, I'm going to put those out there. So that's why I love that film because I was not expecting that. And the actor, and I can't believe I think it's Ranveer Kapoor. I'm not sure, but I've never seen him in anything. And I thought he was wonderful in this film. And he's a phenomenal actor. So that I love that movie. And also, what's her name? Chopra, the American. She does American TV show now, but she was in that also, and she was wonderful. And my number one is Like Stars on Earth, Tar Zameen Par. And the reason why I picked that one, that's the one that I still remember almost everything in the movie. And it's the one that when I tell people that I watch Indian films, that's the one I say, watch this film and then call me when it's over and let me know what you think about it. And every person I've done that to has called me like with tears saying how much they love that movie.
Easy. I mean, I think,
well,
obviously RRR is the gateway for everybody. We always say that, right?
Right.
RRR. But for me, it's the Fly movie.
Yeah, well,
because it's so unbelievably over the top that you figure, how could they pull this premise off?
Right.
And he does.
Right.
That one's you're talking about, that's more of a tearjerker, like any film, like the Lunchbox made me feel that way. I was very
but listen, this was a tearjerker, but because it was such a happy ending.
I know, but to me, it was a little goofy with his dancing in the classroom.
Well, see, I think
all that,
because if you remember, the first hour of that film was hard to get through because of how that kid was being treated. And once Khan shows up as the teacher, that's when the entire movie changes.
It's a little Mr. Holland's opus kind of thing.
You can say, listen, it's my number one pick.
All right, I'm just telling you,
I love that movie. That's the one that I say, this is the movie you want to watch. And, I just loved it. Okay. So those are
the only other thing I want to say is I want to find that movie that Mom watched that she told us about, the woman who.
Oh, who, I
forget the name of that one.
What the hell's the name of it?
Like
Darling.
Darling. I do want to seek that one out.
She loved it.
Right.
But
it sounds funny the way she described
it. Well,
it.
yeah. I mean, it's a comedy about a woman trying to kill her husband.
Yeah, it sounds good.
So she absolutely loved it. So we'll have to check it out. So again, top 5 was Kantara. No, that was your runner-up. Super Deluxe, Wednesday, Lunchbox, Drishyam, Tumbad, and Hanhoon.
Right.
I know Drew's going to have fun with that one. I'm sure.
Of course. Well, that's fine.
Mine was Jawan, English of English, Lagan, Barfi, and Tar Zameen Par. So those are our top 5. Let us know if you agree, disagree. Let us know if we missed a choice, because Wednesday absolutely would have made this list. I can't believe I didn't put it on here because I love that movie. Now, it's
funny. Neither one of us put those big Bahubali and some of those real over the top kind.
I liked it, but it's not. Again, my criteria was: do I still think about the movie? Can I still talk about scenes in the movie? Is it something I may watch again? Most of these movies I could probably watch again. Like English of English was so different because it had a female lead who was just, I thought she was wonderful, and it was set in New York, which I really liked. But it was just so different. So that's a criteria.
I mean,
for
What
me.
are the things? Okay, what are the things that you take away that you like in these Indian films? What are some of the things that we don't do on our films that they do that you like?
Well,
Is it the musicals, the musical numbers in the
the
middle?
musicals, the musical numbers I like when they are worked into the story in an organic way. When they do 7 songs just to do 7 big songs, I'm not a big fan of that because I think they go on too long. I
Yeah,
think it makes the movie much too long. But it's the it's the innocence of the films. You know, they're very chaste. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And the love stories, there's no public shows of affection. I kind of like that. You know, in a world that we now
It's so
live
weird
in.
because there's a lot of stalking that goes
Well,
on, and
there is,
these guys.
but even that is done. I'm not saying all the movies, but it's also a culture that up until this point I knew nothing. I thought I knew,
Right,
but I
right.
know nothing about. I'm finding actors and actresses who, even though I don't understand what they're saying, I find really compelling.
Yeah,
So I think that's it. Now someone like the big historical stuff. I don't get bowled over by that. That's not really my cup of tea. Like it's not my cup of tea in Hollywood films. Do you know what I
right,
mean? So
right.
it doesn't resonate with me as much. Like a lot of the Telugu films I really like because there's so, and Malayalam too. They're so grounded.
Right.
But I don't mind. Like Shah Rukh Khan is bigger than life, and I like that. But I also like when he like Swadesh he did where he's really grounded and he's excellent in it. But
Right.
he's got this unlike Khan, Amir Khan, who I think's a better actor. I just do. I think that he's a personality. Shah Rukh Khan. I'm not saying that as a negative. I'm just saying he's a
Right.
personality. And he
Right.
play like every musical number, he does this thing where he raises his arms because
Right.
that's what Shah Rukh Khan does, right? Where where Amir Khan doesn't do that. Now he does this annoying thing with the bug eyes. You know, he does that a lot, right? And the big ears. But if you look at as many movies as I've seen of him, I mean, he really plays different characters where Shah Rukh Khan really doesn't.
Yeah.
So I like that. I mean, now, am I going to continue to like it a year from now? I don't know. Maybe I'll
Yeah.
get bored with the movies, like
Well,
you
this
know,
would be
these
a good test because I don't want to totally give up on the Indian films at all. Like there are some I really want to see and keep going, especially if I can get to a movie theater. Because my most favorite movie experience I had was going to see RRR. I saw that here and it was just insane
You
to
saw
watch
that
it.
in a movie theater?
Yeah, with
Oh, I
other
didn't know
people. It
that.
was, and we're all talking about it after. It was
Yeah.
great. It was great.
Well, that's the one
And
thing.
we
Like
don't do that. We don't
I've
do
seen
that.
3 movies in the movie theater,
Yeah.
and one I was by myself.
Yeah.
The other
That's tough.
two, I started to talk to people as we're leaving the lobby, and I started throwing out this stuff about
Yeah.
what I know about Indian films, and they're like shocked as hell
Right.
that I know anything about this. But it's neat when you like when there's a cameo that 6 months ago I wouldn't have known who that cameo was,
Yeah.
and why is everyone getting all excited? Now I know who it is.
But
That's kind of cool.
Chris brought up a good point, which is if you asked us to watch a French film every single day for a year, I think we might get sick of French films too. I mean, I think that's part of the problem. It's easy to talk about American films because we've grown up with it. It's part of our DNA.
Absolutely.
And to have to watch these as much as we did, I think maybe we went a little overboard. But again, if there was actually incentive, i.e., money there,
Right.
things are different.
Well,
But
that's right. I
that's
mean,
all under the bridge. It
that's right
doesn't
because
matter.
this is all being done on the side,
Right.
you know, and I get
This
it
is a
because
hobby. We're doing
there
it
was
as a
one movie
hobby.
I watched. It was 4 hours long,
Right.
and it's like okay, and I like the movie, but 4 hours. I mean,
Yeah. It's
you
a
know.
slog.
So anyway, all right,
All
now
right.
number one Hollywood film.
I think we might have the same one.
Well, then I'm going to go first.
Is it a Hollywood film?
Well, no, it's really not a
Okay.
Hollywood film. But I listen, my viewers know this from my 10-minute reviews because I've mentioned this the last 3 shows I've done. For me, the best movie that I saw in 2023, and I got to be honest with you, and I loved Oppenheimer. It's not even close. It's Godzilla minus one. I love that movie. I want to see it again. There's a black and white version coming out that I'm going to go see. I still think about it. I think about some scenes in the movie. I want to see it again. Everybody I know, I'm telling go see it. I don't care that it's in Japanese and it's got subtitles. I don't care if you've ever been to one. Go see this movie because, as I said on our show, it's not just a great Godzilla movie. It is a great movie. The way they did this movie was a lot different. It's not a remake of the 50s version of
No,
Godzilla.
it's a prequel to the first film. That's what the
Well,
minus one means.
it's not really. I mean, I wouldn't say. Well, it's set before then, but the interesting
Right.
thing, it's set after World War II, so
Right.
there's no military. Unlike every other Godzilla movie, the
Well, that's what I
military.
mean. But this is
Yeah,
this again, it's a precursor to the very first one, but done by Toho,
but it's the most.
the original.
It's the most devastating Godzilla that I've seen. Where
You mean nasty?
nasty, where
Yeah.
you want them to kill him.
Right.
Where for the last 40 years, 50 years, he's been an anti-hero. He's a defender of the planet. You know what I mean? And to me, that I really like that. Like his, and I know I'm repeating myself, but his atomic breath, that thing was the best version of that I have ever seen. I mean, it had gravitas to it. You could see the way his things in the back went up each
Well,
time.
you know, they do that in the original. I didn't realize that. In the
Well,
original, when he's charging himself up, his back fins light up.
they light up, but they don't grow out like they did in this movie.
No, but this was,
almost
yeah,
like a
no.
gun cocking.
Right.
So, and that was, like it.
Well, and
is it a
again,
painful thing for Godzilla?
supposedly the director did it for $15 million, did all his own CGI. All the lore going into this film is why it's so good and why everybody should see.
He says he wishes he had 15 million for this film.
Right.
So that's my number one. Loved it. And I know a lot of my viewers have said that it's really not playing in India. This film is not playing in India. They're not big on the Godzilla franchise.
Yeah.
So a lot of them aren't going to see it till it streams. And that's too bad because this is a movie you want to see on the big screen. But if you can't, definitely see it streaming. So that's my number one. Ralph, how about you?
That's mine
Barbie?
as well. I mean, that ended my year beautifully. But I did see Oppenheimer, which I thought was
Loved
great.
Oppenheimer.
And I had a great night seeing Barbie and No Hard Feelings at a drive-in movie theater in the same night. And it was a great movie experience. And John hasn't seen Barbie.
No.
For his various
Will
reasons,
not see it.
Which is ridiculous. He
No.
should see it.
No.
Barbie's a blast.
Yeah.
Barbie is an absolute blast.
What if you're a straight white male?
It's an absolute blast.
Really?
Especially if you're not insecure as a straight white
Oh,
male.
here we go. Oh,
if you're very secure straight white male,
so it's not against the
film.
So it's not against the patriarchy then.
It has something to say about the patriarchy.
A little bit, just a little bit.
Have you seen it?
Does it have just,
I'm about to tell you to be quiet.
On a scale of 1 to 10, you would say it's anti-men.
Why anti-men? Why do you say
1
that?
being not at all, 10 being really absolutely against men.
7.
Okay, 7. And okay.
I mean, yeah, all the CEOs are idiots.
Are they white?
Most of them, not all.
Are they male?
They are male.
Okay, good. All right. Anyhow,
so you already have preconceived.
Let's not talk about a movie I'm never going to see.
Barbie, you should see. I'm saying the audience should see Barbie.
Yeah.
But definitely they should go see if they can see it, stream it, whatever. Godzilla minus one. Now, if that is not an Indian, cultural thing, the Godzilla myth, then, maybe it's not their cup of tea. But for me, growing up with Godzilla, and it's just in there, this movie just says a lot. And I felt the same way about Shin Godzilla, that other film.
Oh, yeah, I love that too.
That came out in 2020 or
2016, I think.
Which, okay, maybe that early. I didn't realize that. Was fantastic too.
Yeah.
So the two of them are a good companion because one is about how the government handles what's going on, and the other one is what Godzilla is doing to the government to make them want to.
Which was based on, wasn't that based on like the tsunami that they were dealing with?
I think the nuclear response to the tsunami, the nuclear, the tsunami and the nuclear fallout thing that they had.
Right.
There. Anyway, but yeah, Godzilla minus one, definitely the movie.
Top
and movie. I don't know if that will win. I mean, if Barbie wins Best Picture, I'll be shocked. It shouldn't.
It's gonna be Oppenheimer.
It should be Oppenheimer.
Yeah, it'll probably be. I mean, it swept the Golden Globes. I assume it's going to sweep the Oscars. But it deserves it. I mean, I don't know if it would fall under Best Foreign Film. It could win in that category.
Well, Parasite won Best Picture. That's a foreign film that won Best Picture.
Well, yeah, but I think if you're nominated for Best Picture, can you be nominated for Best Foreign Film also?
I don't know.
Yeah. So
I doubt it.
It deserves something. I don't know what, but it deserves really something.
So okay,
because it's fantastic. Okay, well,
all right. So tonight I have to go watch to research the Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, and I hope have you watched it yet?
I've watched 3/4 of it.
Oh my God.
Yep, I'm going to finish it up after we're done.
Okay, good.
I just want I want everyone to know what's going on here. Okay. So I am a huge Indiana Jones fan. My favorite
Yes.
movie of all time. One of the most iconic heroes.
It still is.
Okay.
Okay.
And I thought the fourth Indiana Jones film was garbage, and they should have stopped after 3. I had no intention of watching the Dial of Dysentery. I'm sorry, Dial of Destiny, because the film,
It would ruin his childhood.
No, but the 3 films are, they're up here,
And I don't like the second one. You're okay.
I don't want
with
to
the
do
second
anything
one?
to tarnish
Right.
that.
Okay.
But Ralph, out of the goodness of his heart,
Yep.
on the Big Show, picked that film for the next film to watch. Now, he did that for 2 reasons. One, he knows, in fact, he told me this. He knows I'm not going to like it. Okay. He told me that, but he still picked it. Second, everyone else had already seen it. So no one's going to watch a new movie. Okay. That's why he picked.
And it'll make a good discussion. It's one
going
of
to make a
those that
great
we can have a
discussion
good
'cause I have-
discussion because
I
you're
have
going to
lots
hate
to
it and we're
say.
going
I
to
will
love
give you a
listening to you.
hint that I don't despise it as much as I thought I was going to.
Okay. Well, that's interesting.
There are things in it that bother me greatly,
Okay.
but
I'm sure you're going to be on track with a lot of people who probably
I
have
don't know.
those same
we'll
feelings.
see. Because you make fun of me because it's going to ruin your childhood. It's not going to
Well,
ruin
you told me that's why you don't
But
want to
I
watch
just
it.
it just Harrison Ford at 80 years old doing this. I would rather have them
That's
reboot
amazing.
it with a younger
That's
actor.
amazing. With a woman?
Anyway. Anyway, Ralph, I appreciate you coming on, talking
it's
about
a blast.
the film.
Always, as
And
always.
I just want to let our audience know I'm going to continue with the 10-ish minute reviews. I'm going to get back on that horse. I got a bunch of movies in the queue that I'm going to watch. So I'll start putting those out again. I apologize for the delay. And on the Big Show, we're going to get everyone together. We're going to do one every couple of weeks. We're going to finish the viewer wheel. And then I don't know how we're going to pick films, but we're getting a little bit trolled by our fans. We all kind of think, not all of them, but some of them. But we got to get back
You mean
on
with the
that
movies
horse.
they picked?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure.
Kind of testing us a little bit,
I
maybe?
think that's a better word than saying troll.
Right.
I think we're being tested a little bit.
Right. I think we failed miserably.
Well, listen,
I still have to watch Wolverines, which is the one we're going to do in 2 weeks.
Well, that one, so. I think, look, that's a long movie, but you can understand why people feel the way they feel about that movie, because that's kind of their Lawrence of Arabia.
Right.
They're Gone with the Wind. I mean, you can see that on the screen.
Okay. Yeah.
But I'll let you, I did a 10-ish minute review. I can't wait to hear what you guys think about it. But anyway, so that's it. Ralph, thanks for joining us.
Sure.
And I'm going to get Ralph on here more, because whenever I have him on, you guys subscribe, you hit the notification button, you smash that like
amazing.
button, and you share. I don't know what it is, Ralph.
That's right there.
There's something about
Right
you.
there.
Yeah, down there, right? Down there.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And listen, I'm all, you know me, I'm always looking for some suggestions on films we should watch. Just please, it's got to be available. If it's a current movie, it's got to be available local for me. And if not, it's got to be streaming. If it's not streaming, I can't watch it. So check it out. See if you can let me know that. If not, I'll try to watch it. Okay. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. I hope you all had a happy new year and are looking forward to 2024. I know
we are.
Let's go. Because I got the big 60.
Let's do more in 2024.
What? Woo.
It's good.
You
right?
just came up with that just now.
I'm a branding guy. What can I tell you?
We're going to do more
Branding all the time.
in 2024. Hey, thanks for watching, everybody, and we will talk to you soon.